All right, so I feel like I should talk about Pharisees for a second because I got pretty mean to the Ulama. I'm unbuckling my belt. Ulama. One time I gave a sermon on Islam about how much I love the Ulama. The entire sermon was about like how like there's nothing more important than the Ulama, and like that's like all that I care about in Islam is like what matters is the Ulama, and like that's the best part of Islam is the Ulama, and I was talking about the Ummah. So the ulama is like the religious establishment, like they're like the religious leaders, and then the ummah is like the church, and I think the ummah and the congregation and like the ikhwan, like the brotherhood, and like that sort of stuff like is like the best part of Islam by far. Everyone prays facing the same direction, like all over the world, like millions of people at the same time. So like it's like I don't know. It's a powerful thing, like being part of the Ummah. It's a very powerful thing being part of the Ulama. It is. But the Ulama tends to be Pharisees. And are Muslims Pharisees? They're like Pharisees. Like, if you're a Christian, like, there's nothing worse than being a Pharisee. Like, if you're like a hardcore Christian that's like a Protestant, like, feel like they're the Catholics and they are the Pharisees. Like, that's where the Pope, like, oh, he did some Pharisee stuff. Good job. You're good Pharisee stuff. Pharisee stuff's like, I'm gonna go wash someone's feet. Well, why don't you just like work all day in a soup kitchen, like until your like feet are so tired, like that you have to sit in a chair and keep working. Like that's like a sacrifice. Like, but like washing someone's feet, like maybe not. Like maybe you can go clean out some trash cans. Like maybe like at the soup kitchen, like you can be the guy that cleans up the trash cans in the alleyway. Like you want to wash some feet. But I feel like in Islam, like in Catholicism, also like we want to wear white clothes. Like we want to appear to be pure. And if you've studied human psychology enough, like you know that like colors are associated with like certain things. Like white is like a very good color, and I think that like for pornography, like white is like a very good color to go with. For porn models, like I feel like probably the most successful porns tend to go with white because it's like, oh, she's so pure. She's got two dicks, one in both hands, but she's wearing white. So everyone knows you got to wear white when you're a super religious person. But like coming from like the hobo like perspective, I'm the guy that wears black socks because like I've been like a homeless person with like dirty socks. Like I would never have white socks nowadays because like I think I got to a point where I like was homeless so much that I started wearing black socks, and to this day not wearing white, but I've got a very beautiful white cervical collar. It's for my cervix, but I decided to put it around my neck. It's probably a rabdos. No, like, because the slaves had rods around their neck. And like I think this guy got confused about what was what, and he decided to go with rod, but really the master was the rabdos. And but I think it's not very hard to figure out that like right there it's saying al dalamina or al dalamin, and like if we were going to do what we were doing with the Greek with this and say, well, we're going to act like this is Egyptian Arabic, and we're not going to pronounce the dal. We could say alamin, which alam or alam, which is a pen. No, I'm talking about like an alam, which is the world. Kul alam. But but both will be of the world, like, because you don't want to be of the world in Christianity. But clearly that's not what it means. It means dalamin or dalamina. But I should have it on the screen, right? Right above my head, we got Zaliman, wrongdoers, and this guy from Saudi Arabia decided that like they don't think God can handle things on their own, like God needs help. And I think that a lot of people like to help God, and those are people that tend to lack faith, that want other people to have faith because it benefits them. But like a Saudi would have no problem looking at that and going, well, all the marks are below. In no possible universe is it going to be Dhalamun. It would be Dhalamin. No. If there's an at the end, which we saw with Alhamdulillah. So when we talk about like Muslims being Pharisees, like they'll get like a rock and they'll pray 5 times a day and they'll put their head on a rock, so they'll get like a little like bruise, like a knot on their head to show that they're pious. Like, look how hard I pray the hardest. And like Jesus was like very against that. Like, people pray in public, and like I think that that's because they just have to. Like, they pray 5 times a day and they need to like be able to pray, and so they just throw down their mat. And I don't think that's necessarily showing off, but I do think getting a little horn on your head is showing off. Like, I think that like a lot of people are that serious about galabayas, and sometimes galabayas can be a showing off thing. That's like the Islamic clothes. Do I think it's necessarily like that? I think that like it's good to preserve traditions and like traditional clothing. Like, it's cool that people wear traditional clothing. Like, it's nice that people still do that. I hope that people will always wear traditional clothing in Egypt. But like I'm still like, but like galabayas are like usually blue. They're not like wearing white. Like, look how pure I am. Like, which is like what Saudi Arabia would do, and I feel like a lot of the Muslim world would do it. And it's because they do want to, like, I guess they can use bleach and it's fine. Like, I don't fully understand like how I feel like it's like a fancy person thing. Like, to me, like, cause like you're so fancy that you can wear white that much. And like, I feel like I look fat and white, but it's more than it's about more than looking fat. It's about like, I don't want it to get dirty, and I feel like it's about for like a Pharisee, it'd be about like, look how pure I am. Like, I'm so pure. Like, just look at me, I'm wearing white. Like, look at how white that guy's clothes are. Like, especially a long time ago, like Pharisees would have loved to wear white.